life gets very hectic, hey, I gotta take it one step at a time because I'm one person. And I sat and said to myself, I'm like, okay, if these people who I'm watching turn YouTube into a source of income for themselves, and now they're getting paid to be themselves, why can't I do it? How I want my income to look, what my dream house look like, what my dream body look like, what my dream hair look like. I'm talking about everything from the tip top of my head to the bottom of my feet, literally everything. Allow me to reintroduce myself.
You know how it feels.
Hey Simply Crew, it's your girl Tay, and welcome back to my channel. Well, y'all, I know the last time I've been here was approximately, if not maybe full-fledged, a year ago. But I'm gonna fill y'all guys in on everything that's been going on in my life. What was the reason for the long hiatus? Why I disappeared, basically, and everything in between. What's been going on with my life and how I've been basically navigating these 20-somethings, because it's crazy. And I got my iPad here, as you see, because I got a bunch of notes just to keep me basically in order. But I just want to give y'all the full rundown of the rundown of the rundown. So, to get started, even though I know some of y'all like, girl, at this point, don't even worry about it. To get started, the reason I was basically took a step back from YouTube is because I just was feeling like I wasn't being my true authentic self when I was last on my channel. So to open it up, I just want to say, allow me to reintroduce myself. Cause when I was doing everything, okay, you know, I started off doing makeup and everything. And don't get me wrong, I love makeup. Makeup is still gonna be a big part of my channel. But it just wasn't feeling, what's the word? It wasn't speaking to my energy. Like, it didn't light my spirit up in a sense. And when I came to YouTube, I was like, okay, I want to come to YouTube and do something that's going to be refreshing and feel like I was getting, you know, building the foundation of me just completely being myself. And then with me doing makeup, I just was like, okay, I feel like that right there alone took me in a different direction from where I was planning to go with it. Because when I was younger, I used to wear makeup like every day. I loved doing makeup. Once I got the concept and got the hang of it and found out, you know, how to do my facial structure and everything, I loved it. But basically, I had stopped when I was in the 11th grade, and I was like, you know what? I didn't want to do makeup every day on myself because it felt like I was concealing who I was doing makeup. And I know that's kind of a stretch, but that's how it felt to me. So I stopped wearing makeup, and I literally don't do nothing but what you guys see now. Lip gloss, lashes. On a special occasion day, yeah, I'm gonna do a full face of makeup, but that's literally on special occasions. So I just had a voice in my head and was like, it was basically telling me, hey, why you gonna throw yourself into YouTube doing makeup, and then every time you turn on the camera, that's what you gonna have to do, when that's something we basically already delivered you out of. Like, the whole having to full face beat 24/7, no. I stopped because outside of me just becoming more comfortable with my face and skin, it was basically like, girl, you wearing makeup because you running away from yourself. And it's like, why did I want to come to YouTube and do that? So that's reason number one for the break. And yeah, with that being said, I had basically went through a whole creator's block, and it just didn't feel good. It felt very forced. But now, is makeup gonna still be a part of my channel? Absolutely. But in the way that I was doing it, no. Like, I'm still gonna do makeup tutorials and everything, but I just don't want this channel to be about, oh boom, every time I turn on the camera, makeup tutorial, makeup oriented videos. I did not want that to be the case, because I'm realizing I'm multifaceted. Like, I want to do stuff in this arena, things, this arena, and I'm just like, I don't want to niche down like that. And yes, I'm gonna be a part of the beauty community, but I don't want my channel to be solely just about that, if that makes sense. So that being said, that's why I just had to take a step back and reevaluate some things and actually get in tune with myself. And yeah, think about who I am as a person and where I want things to go in my life and how I want them to go. So that leads me into reason number 2. I took a step back from YouTube. So to add to that, like I said, I didn't feel like I truly knew where to go with my channel, which I didn't. And technically, I'm gonna be honest with you, I still don't. But at this point in the journey, I'm now allowing God to lead my footsteps. And you know, a lot of people don't believe in God. Some people do. Hey, whoever your Lord and Savior is, I respect it, and I respect it for you. But here on this channel, God is gonna be a big part of it. And I can't say I'm just highly religious, but when it comes down to spirituality, God and a higher power, I am all for that. I believe in that 100%. I may not go to church every Sunday, but baby, I believe in God. Period, point blank. So with that being said, I took a step back just to be in my alone time, to really sit quiet with myself and think about where I want my life to go, how I want it to go, what I want it to look like, and just visualize and meditate on every aspect of my life. And when I say every aspect of it, I mean every single aspect, down from how I want my YouTube channel to be, how I want my, basically my career path to be and look, how I want my income to look, what my dream house look like, what my dream body look like, what my dream hair look like. I'm talking about everything from the tip top of my head to the bottom of my feet, literally everything. So with that being said, with me doing all of this thinking and analyzing and all that good stuff, I basically went into hermit mode because I got overwhelmed. I ain't even gonna lie. I was overwhelmed. And on top of that, if you all don't know, I mean, some of the people who watch my channel, because they are friends and family, y'all know. But for the ones who don't, I stay by myself. I'm not at home. I do not have any roommates or none of that. I am the 100% sole person who's in charge of all my expenses and everything of that nature. So with me thinking about this and then also having to deal with that and then just analyzing who I want to become, I got overwhelmed. and I went into hermit mode because I'm like, okay, when it start to be too many moving parts and I just feel like I'm coming in and always going, it just got to the point, okay, let me sit this down for right now. But it wasn't a sit down as a, oh, I tried it and I'm throwing in the white flag and I'm giving up. It was more so of a sit down of, let me pause this right here and come back and then reevaluate my approach and reevaluate how I'm gonna tame this beast, basically. So I went through that, and then on top of everything of that nature, life just was life. So that's reason number 3 of why I took a step away from YouTube. Like, when you are living on your own and having to deal with 100 million things on your own, not, as an adult, life gets very hectic. And when it comes down to, okay, I want to do something that, I'm trying to build, but I also got these priorities in my face that's, taking the bulk of my time. You're going to pick the priorities until you get everything straight away and set in place to where you can now handle all your secondary things. Not saying YouTube is a secondary priority, but basically saying, hey, I got to take it one step at a time because I'm one person. And with that being said, now I feel like I'm at a point where I can come back to YouTube and actually give it a little more than what I gave it the first go round. Because that's one thing I've always said. I'm like, I look and I watch YouTube almost, well, really every day. I ain't even gonna say almost. I'm watching something on YouTube every day. And I sat and said to myself, I'm like, okay, if these people who I'm watching made it possible for themselves to get, even though some people be like, hey, do it because you love it. We all know people get paid from YouTube. And I'm like, okay, if these people sat here and turned YouTube into a source of income for themselves, and now they're getting paid to be themselves, why can't I do it? Because that's what me coming to YouTube was supposed to be. It was supposed to be like a visual diary in a sense. Like, I'm documenting every facet of my life, but not showing too much, but showing enough. And it can also turn into something what I wanted it to be for myself, where I could look back on it and just see constant growth within my life. And also, while doing that, get paid to do so. Because I've always said since I was little, like, hey, I wanted to be a YouTuber and I wanted to get paid to be myself. So with that, I was just like, okay, let me sit her down and come back when I feel like I have enough energy and enough life source to give to it. Because I'm the type of person, I don't like giving nothing my bare minimum. I'm not a bare minimum woman. I don't like receiving bare minimum, and I don't like to give bare minimum. And when I do come through for people, or people, places, things, whatever, if you got my utmost importance and I let you know you do have that, I'm gonna go above and beyond. That's just me. Now, if you don't have top priority in my life, I can't lie, I'm really not gonna do nothing, because I don't shortchange nobody. I'm just not gonna do anything. But if you got top priority in my life, best believe you getting 1000% effort. At the end of the day, that's what it is. So yeah, it was just one thing after another that led into that break. Because like I said, staying on my own, living by myself, paying all my own bills, and dealing with all my in between situations, like in terms of car notes and car maintenance and just a whole lot of everything while going to work. It just became like, okay, pause, take a deep breath, sit down, chill out. That's what it became. And I was just operating out of a place of, what's the word? Basically, I was operating out of a place of depletion and also low-key desperation and a mindset of instant gratification. And I just was like, okay, I'm gonna come to YouTube and I'm gonna just be an overnight hit. And I was like, okay, that was irrational for me to even think that anyway. And I just had to go give myself a reality check, because I was like, okay, same way you had to work to the point of getting your own house, same way you had to work to the point of getting your own car, same way you had to do anything in life, crawl, walk, anything. It took time, and it didn't happen overnight. And just like I age every year, that takes time. I have to go through a whole 365 days before I get to the next 365 days. So I had to give myself a reality check. So that's reason number 5, or whatever, however many I'm on at this point. That's also a reason that contributed to me taking a step from YouTube. Cause I'm like, I was putting out them videos and I'm like, hey, ain't nobody really watching and ain't nobody really interacting, and I feel like I'm talking to a brick wall, but I'm like, hey, I'm talking to a camera, so what do you expect? I'm not saying it's a brick wall, but I'm like, hey, you're talking you on you versus you. What do you expect? So it was just a matter of, I had to get myself in check, because girl, it's not gonna happen overnight. And I shouldn't have even thought it was gonna happen overnight. And yeah, same way I had to go through school to graduate, it's gonna be the same thing with this. I'm gonna have to go through levels and phases and situations and all that before I get to the big kaboom of it all. Just like how Rome wasn't built in a day, I'm not gonna be built in a day, and I can't even expect me to be built in a day. Cause yeah, I was just being unrealistic. And I just, with that, I started feeling down on myself, and yeah, self-sabotage. I was like, oh, well, nobody even checking for me, I'ma just quit. That was a mindset and a thought that I had. But at this point, I was like, no. I was thinking about that, and I was like, what the heck? No, that's so dumb. Like, I'm over here having conversations with myself like, girl, that is dumb as hell. Like, why did you even... No, ma'am. Because it's a little video that motivates me that I like to watch from time to time. I'm going to try to basically add a clip in of what it says.
About 15 years ago, I was sitting in a conference like this with about a quarter of the amount of people. And he gave an exercise. He said, pull out a piece of paper and write down all your goals, all your dreams, all your ambitions, physical, mental, spiritual. So everything that you want to be, what kind of car do you want to have, what kind of house do you want to have, where do you want to live, what impact do you want to have on people? And I remember I was scribbling away with this huge smile on my face, because I never did anything like that before. I always grew up being, be realistic, get your head out of the clouds and put your feet on the ground. Money doesn't grow on trees. That looks too good to be true. That'll never work. Just because someone else can do it doesn't mean you can't. But for the first time in my life, I was dreaming again. And we were done about an hour later. He said, flip that piece of paper over. And he said, write this down. I gave up my dreams because. And put a blank. He said, you go home, you take that piece of paper and you tape it to your bathroom mirror where you see it every morning, every day, and every night before you go to bed. And he said, when things get tough, when you're out of money, when everything you've tried so far hasn't worked, when there's people that you're watching having success at the very same thing that you're doing and you're not, When your friends and family are saying, go get a real job, or your spouse or loved ones are saying, hey, Nate, sometimes you got to know when to throw in the towel. When you're ready to give up, when you had enough and you just can't take it anymore, he said, flip that paper over, rip that sucker down, and fill in the blank.
But basically, the guy just says, I gave up on my dream because blank. So you just write a little sticky note to yourself and be like, hey, I gave up on my dream because blase, blase. And whatever it says, if it sounds good, leave it at that. And if it doesn't sound good, you go back and get to the business on that dream or that goal you're working on. And that's what I actually sat and did with myself. I was like, okay. I was watching that video one of these days back in the past before I came back. And I was watching it, and it was just a lot of things that I'm currently trying to work through, the obstacles and the hoops of getting over and getting through. And that was one of my sticky notes. I was like, I gave up on my YouTube dream because nobody's checking for me. Nobody was watching my stuff. I ain't got a lot of subscribers. I just went down the line of every reason. And I was like, all this sounds stupid. Every single thing I put on them sticky notes sounded dumb. And I was like, I started laughing and I was like, okay, girl, get it together. Just get it together. So I was like, it may not be today. At the point where I was writing them sticky notes, I was like, okay, it may not be today. It may not be tomorrow. It may not be 2 weeks from now. But once you get yourself together and in a good mental space, get back to the YouTube. Start back doing what you need to be doing and what you said for the last upteen years that you want to do. Get to it. And boom, here I am. But also with that too, I kind of had to step back from YouTube because it was also like job situations. Like last video, I really don't remember what I said exactly, but I think I was working at Amazon. And you know, that whole situation about the Amazon and everything, I mean, it was working, but it wasn't working because one, like I said, the job was easy, but it was too much micromanaging for me, and that tends to put me in stressful situations. And I don't like being in environments like that, for one. But also, it just wasn't. It was like it was giving me enough time to do what I needed to do in terms of my side quests and purposes, but it wasn't at the same time, because it's like, okay, once you work these 10 hours for 4 days out the week, I mean, the type of work you doing, even though it's easy, you get home and you be tired. So I ended up leaving that job. And I was like, hey, I wanted a weekend job, because I know during the week I can do what I need to do in terms of outside sources. And for a moment I was able to do that, but going to Nike, where I was working the weekend job at, it was just dealing with them. Now I'm having to figure out another way to make money because y'all cutting hours. And that's why I said, when I was trying to come back to YouTube in between zone, it was like everything was just happening all at once. It was like money issues, to be transparent, shoot, having to do triples and doubles, trying to figure out a new way to do things that was easy when I just had consistent income. And now I'm actually just working for myself doing Uber, because I'm like, okay, at this point, the jobs is playing here where I stay, and the managers be playing. I don't like getting up early, so let me figure out a way I can change my situation for the better and so totally rely on myself, because that's my ultimate dream. Okay, my bad, guys. Camera died, whole lot happened, but okay. Now I'm back, but yeah, like I was saying, basically, that was one of my lifelong goals and aspirations that I have, is to be in business for myself, start my own business, and just live life on my own terms, get paid to be myself, and be happy. And at the point in my life where I was just dealing with Nike and their tomfoolery, I was just like, okay, I've been saying I was going to do that for a while, so let me start actually taking steps in doing that. Because even with, on my last video, I had let you guys know that I took a lash class certification, and I completed it, got my lash certification and everything, and I was down on myself about that as well, as along with my YouTube, because I'm like, okay, hey, I have taken this lash course and I'm not currently using it, but it's more in the works on that, and I don't, speak too soon on anything, so I'm gonna just leave that one right there. But with that being said, I'm like, okay, I need to start taking steps to, be self-sufficient and get in the mindset and get in the hang of, doing stuff for myself. So that was another thing that took me away from YouTube and I was focusing on, because I'm like, okay, I need to know, like, once I step out on faith, I have the capacity and the ability to, be in business for myself and make my own money and sustain myself. And that one has been a challenge, and it still persists to be a challenge. But every day I'm learning something new, and I'm developing systems for myself that's helping me to, smooth out the rough edges, basically, overall, in terms of that situation. And also, P.S., I know y'all hear like a little beeping, but that's the alarm system in my house. So, yeah, don't know how to stop that quite yet, but I don't know. We'll figure it out. And that leads me into another thing that happened. So, in my old videos, I was in my old one-bedroom apartment. But since then, I have moved and I'm in a bigger space now. So, eventually, at some point, I'm gonna give like video on, just the outline of the house, and then somewhere in the works, I'm gonna try to work it in, but I wanna do like videos of me documenting how I decorate this new space, because with my old space, I had already pre-decorated it, but with this one, I've completely left it blank for right now, because I'm still developing in my mind what I plan on doing for this one. And yeah, it was just a whole heap of me overcoming my inner thoughts and silencing my inner critic, and just learning to limit distractions and change my mindset. That's been the biggest thing, which I'm still actively working on, but I do feel like with me taking a step back and taking a break that I did take, I feel like now I am in a good mental space to come back and start doing what needs to be done in terms of this area. And that's why I'm here now. But overall, it's just like, I'm just taking my time, and like I said, I'm letting God lead my steps and actually break down and guide me in the way that I need to go. Because yeah, I need to work off His understanding and not just my understanding, and I just gotta be patient with myself, and that's what I'm learning to do. And I'm learning to have grace on myself, because the things I'm doing at 25 years of life right now, which I just had a birthday August the 4th. So the things I'm doing at this point in my life right now, a lot of people my age have not even touched the bottom of the iceberg on doing. And I'm just trying to give myself grace, because grace is needed. And I'm also working on my spirituality and becoming closer to God, and listening to my intuition and following my energy and the sensations I feel within my body. Okay, y'all, we just gonna have to kick it off the iPad because the phone is, acting stupid. And I want to get this video done. But yeah, I'm just following intuition and listening to my inner thoughts and my inner self and my higher self on where I need to go and how I need to get there, and where I'm trying to be and what I need to be currently doing to be in that place. And I'm just working on all the minor little kinks and bumps within myself, trying to get myself together and trying to keep myself focused on the big picture, because I can't lie, a lot of things do come into my life, and a lot of things they be testing a girl like she ain't an original gangster around here. But lately I've been releasing control and going with the flow and listening, heavy on the listening to where God is calling me. And that's what led me to go ahead and make this video today, because I was gonna put it off. I'm gonna just be honest, I was about to put it off again, but I was like, you know what, I prayed about this. I said, hey, make what you have in store for me be aligned with my higher purpose, and let those two paths intersect and then become one. So with me saying that, I can't even lie, because it's so funny. God works in funny, mysterious ways. But after I made that prayer, I got the feeling in my spirit to be like, hey, on Saturday, make a video. And what you think I'm doing with everything that's going wrong? Today, I'm making the video, and I'm going to put this video out with its whirlwind of whatever, with all the troubles that I'm having today. I'm going to put this video out, and I'm going to edit it, and I'm going to upload it, and I'm going to celebrate it. Because I've been praying very, very hard on, overcoming my procrastination and my fear and my imposter syndrome that I be experiencing. And that's just what I'm doing. I'm like, hey, if I want to overcome it, I gotta do the steps to overcome it. And yeah, I'm here, and I can't give I know in my head the flow and consistency I'm trying to have with my YouTube. I know the schedule. I know how it's been laid out and given to me. But I don't want to speak on it, because that was another thing I prayed for. I said, let me learn to close my mouth. because I do feel like when I was telling everybody basically my next move and what I had planned, that's when everything started to, just go to nothingness. It was like I'm sharing it with people, and I'm sharing it in good faith that they're going to breathe life into it. But the only thing that I got from a good majority was pessimistic views and negative opinions and doubt. And I have the few that encourage and the few that breathe life into it. But when you have those few among the many weeds in the garden, basically, it crushes the spirit. I'm not gonna lie. So I was feeling deflated, and yeah, I was like, okay, let's go around. God, help me to keep my mouth shut. Help me to stay silent and actually do the action, then go into the celebration of what I'm doing. And that's kind of what I've been praying on and kind of what I've been giving. And I'm not going to give too much information because I do plan on being back. But I just want to tell anybody, it's like, okay, if you feel yourself going through similar situations or anything of this sort, and if you can relate in any type of way to what I'm saying, give yourself grace, give yourself the time, and meditate on how you want your life to look, what you want it to be, all the things you want in it, and where you're trying to go with it. And then take that time to be alone so you can only hear your voice and your voice only, and be in communion with God, and then get back to it. That's the only thing you can do. Because if you really know that you want to do something and you feel you are down on your luck and back against the wall and it's hard for you to do it, same with my situation. Reevaluate, make another strategy, and come back. But at the end of the day, if it's something that's really nagging at your heart, if it's really, if it's really feeling like a nitpicking, whatever, like something that's so irritating to the mind, body, and soul, and it's pushing you and pulling you to go ahead and do it, go ahead and do it. And do it well. Whatever you do it well. And I know this video gonna look all types of boo ratchet, but I don't care. I don't care. My biggest thing was getting it out. And that's what I plan on doing. Getting the video out. So, yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me, how y'all are resonating with the content of what I've shared today. Tell me your thoughts on it. Tell me how you feel about it. Tell me whatever. Tell me where I can work better on getting whatever improvements, whatever you got. Tell me. Drop it below. But like, comment, subscribe, and like I said, welcome back. And if you're new here, my name's Tay, and welcome back to my journey. And we're gonna see where this goes this time. But this go round, I have high hopes. I have very high hopes because I feel like I'm more equipped with the mental toughness that is needed at this level to really be on my A game this go round. I'm gonna just say it like that. Really be on my A game. And with that being said, like, once again, like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, see you on the next video.